Hello and welcome to Paydirt TV. I'm Dominic Piper. Today I'm joined by Chris Byrne, Managing Director of Legacy Minerals. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on the show today, Dominic.
Chris, company listed last September after a $5.8 million IPO. You've got this sort of mixed bag of New South Wales assets, some epithermal stuff, some porphyry stuff, some historic gold shows as well. I noticed you've recently in April have had some results out from the Barula project. What is it you're chasing there? I've seen some really high grade numbers coming out of that.
Yeah, so Barula is one of our epithermal projects. So what we're looking for there is predominantly gold silver system, but what we're also seeing is quite a polymetallic base metal mineralization, and you would have seen that in the announcement you just mentioned as well. 9 meters at close to 10% lead plus zinc. A significant silver, some copper in there as well, with a real high grade zone in there. 2 meters at 29% lead plus zinc, 5.5 grams gold, and almost 100 grams silver and 0.5% copper. So we've got this polymetallic sort of system. It's a carbonate base metal, part of the epithermal there at Barula. But it's a really exciting project. There's not many epithermals in New South Wales, in Australia in general, just because of the age of the geology, the rocks here, and epithermal systems are quite shallow in their displacement, and with the weathering that occurs on old continents, it is quite rare to find these systems. They're fantastic if you've got one, because they have that world-class potential, and New South Wales has some great examples of fantastic epithermals. So Cow, owned by Evolution, around 15 million ounce, and then there's also Bowden's, which is another epithermal north, towards northern New South Wales, one of the world's largest, undeveloped silver projects of, I think close to 260 million ounces of silver. So we've got a fantastic, exciting project there. This is our maiden drill campaign. We've only got the first 3 assays back of the 12 holes that we've done down there. So we're quite excited to see the rest of those results, and it really showcases the broad implications of what is a very large system we've got down there, almost 10 square kilometers of this anomalous gold zone that we've defined. So we're quite excited by the results that we've got from there.
So you mentioned there was, the high grade base metal element to it. Does that change your thinking, or was that can you sort of expect that sort of result from drilling on an epithermal system? Yeah,
so it's not unusual to see it. What we're sort of seeing here is various, in terms of the epithermal model, and this is very much what excites us as well, is the textbook features that we're seeing on the project that align with that understanding. When you move towards an intermediate sulfidation style system, you do start to see those other base metals present in the system as well as your gold and silver. But when we step away from Mount Felsted, where we've drilled, is only one prospect. When you move towards a couple of kilometers north towards this system, which is called the Mimar veins, you're back into that typical gold silver type system, and we're seeing rock chips up there grading up to 40 grams gold, 400 grams silver, striking for several kilometers. So we get quite a difference just depending on where we're sitting in the project area. So it's quite exciting to see that diversity across the project.
So what's the plan from here? You've got the first few assay holes results back from the first few holes. What are you expecting more assay results from here, and how will that inform where you go in future drilling programs?
Yeah, so we expect probably the remainder of the assays to come within the next couple of weeks. From there, we've completed a large gradient array IP program, so covering about 90 line kilometers across some of those large veining systems, and that's generated a tremendous amount of high conviction targets. We're planning to systematically do soils and geochemistry across those, and that'll sort of really highlight some of these high potential areas for us to drill. We've got we talked about that $5.8 million IPO raise. We've got 5,000 meters of drilling to get done across this project. We've only done 1,500 meters of it. So we've got, we're well funded, lots of drill meters ahead, and we really plan to get out there and test some of those targets. Across what is this epithermal system sits within a 27 square kilometer alteration hydrothermal alteration footprint. So it's huge scale, and historically, there's only been 37 drill holes across that 27 square kilometers. So you're talking one drill hole every 72 hectares. So really, really untested, and we're very excited to get in there and that, really drill out these targets that no one's touched before.
And I mean, if Barula's under-drilled, another project you've got in the portfolio, Harden, is certainly under-drilled. It's a historic producer. I was looking at your releases. It produced a lot of gold, nearly 500,000 ounces, dating back more than 100 years. It doesn't seem to have had a whole host of work on it since then. Why has that been? Why has it been left? And what's the plan for a legacy now that you've got your hands on it?
And it's a great question. It's something that in New South Wales has been, very much a focus, over the last several decades. Maybe not even going back that far, but on your porphyry type systems, on your epithermals as well. And so these sort of high grade narrow vein systems have been, really underlooked. They're sort of getting a lot more attention recently. You've got companies like Saturn, Magmatic, Godolphin, Australian Gold and Copper, lots of companies, like Legacy, drilling out these high grade systems. For us, no one had drilled Harden since production stopped in 1913. The mine itself produced 55,000 ounces at 21 grams. So they had a cut-off grade up to 14 grams per tonne. So we saw significant potential there. We control the two best gold mines in that district, which produced 500,000 ounces of gold. And so what we're seeing there, in the drilling, we're starting to get these really good intercepts, 5 meters at 7 grams gold. Historically, there was a 3.6 meters at 21. We've got 6 meters at 3, 3 at 10. So we're really seeing some fantastic intercepts through the drilling. We've just completed the diamond drill campaign down there. That dragged on a little bit longer than what we would have liked, but thankfully that's done. We've got the assays, getting processed in the lab currently, so we're expecting to put them out to the market shortly as well. We put an announcement last year as well, just talking around more visible gold that we intercepted down there. So it's a really high grade system there, but it's quite exciting to see the large shear zone which hosts these historic mines, and they strike for a good 2 kilometers in cases. So very exciting area.
Will the diamond drilling also give you an idea of the structures in place? I imagine these high-grade vein systems can be quite tricky to drill at times.
Yeah, that's very, very on the money question. Because it had never been drilled before, Legacy Minerals is the company that's making that geological discovery. We didn't even know, it was not been known before, that it sits in a shear zone. So that's a geological unit that we'll actually have to name. So what we thought was a high grade narrow vein system. The old timers obviously were mining within a larger zone, which goes up to 10 meters wide. It's low level mineralization outside the high grade components, but it's been very, very enlightening putting some diamond drill holes down there. First time it's been any diamond drill hole into that area, and that's really given us a good indication of the dip and the plunge of this system. So that's taken a bit of learning to get there as well, which has been one of the reasons why we put a few more holes in, just to get a better appreciation of the system and the mineralization.
It sounds an intriguing prospect, particularly as you said that New South Wales isn't exactly well known for those sort of shear-hosted systems. What New South Wales is well known for, and no New South Wales explorer can go without having a porphyry target in its portfolio, and you have that at Rockley. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing on that project?
Yeah, so Rockley is a very exciting prospect as well. We've recently completed some rock chipping. Rock chipping geological mapping in areas that no one's ever been to, and we saw some quite fantastic results. And again, a bit like a Barula, what we're seeing is sort of scale, significant gold and copper mineralization across several kilometers. We're talking 0.5% copper over a 4K by almost 2 kilometer wide zone. We're in the right host rocks for your typical porphyry style discoveries. So Boda, your Cadia Ridgeway, deposits. So again, we're looking at a textbook type system. We're seeing good elements in the geochemistry, that give an indication to preservation of that system as well. So for us, we've got some aerial magnetics and radiometrics that are getting completed shortly as well. So that's just going to further provide additional data for us to define some of the drill targets. We've obviously got money allocated to drill it out as well, and we're quite excited to get to that stage as well.
It sounds like it's a case of using classic fundamental geology and fundamental exploration methods to advance these projects. Chris, what can we expect then for the next 12 months? Where would you like to see Legacy 12 months from now?
Yeah, so it's going to be a busy 12 months. We've got, on top of the projects we talked about, Ballura, Rockley and Harden, where we've been drilling and doing some work. We've been out at Cobar, so we've got some fantastic ground there, right, adjacent to the Peak Gold mines. We're doing soil geochem programs out there. That's following up some high priority targets that were defined from some geophysical surveys we did last year as well. So we expect to get those results back. We're also looking at drill campaigns at Fontenoy, which is a large VHMS system, 8 kilometers of gold and copper mineralization and anomalism in the soils and drilling. So it's going to be quite busy for us. We're also going to be looking at further drilling at Ballura. The company is also looking towards resource definition as well. So it's something that we're going to be starting to see what drill meters we put in, what we need to continue to do. But, we're quite, we've got a lot of confidence around what we've seen to date on the 2 campaigns we've done, both at Harden and Ballura. High grade intercepts across both of them, across multiple holes. They give us a lot of confidence that, the company could be heading towards a resource definition sometime shortly.
Certainly those high-grade hits are enough to get anyone interested in heading towards resource definition. Chris, thanks for joining us today. Best of luck with the programme, and hopefully we can catch up before the end of the year to find out if you fulfilled those ambitions that you had.
Thanks, Dominic, and thanks for having us on Paydirt TV.